Welcome to Spiritual Journeys. I am Renee Marie. Today's segment will be about Master Teacher Confucius. Confucius, founder of Confucianism. Confucius' great-grandfather migrated from the Song state to the Lu state in China. His father's name was Kong He and was an officer in the Lu military. Confucius' father divorced his first wife because she gave birth to 2 daughters and a disfigured son. Yan Zhengzai, Confucius' mother, was his second wife. Confucius was born in answer to his parents' prayers at a sacred hill called Ni-in-Zu, Lu State, near present-day Qufu, Shandong Province, in 1551 BC. September 28th is observed in East Asia as Confucius' birthday. His given name was Kuai. He was a descendant of the Shang dynasty kings and belonged to Shi class that was ranked between old nobility and the common people. At the age of 3 in 548 BC, he lost his father and was brought up by his mother in financial poverty. When he was younger, Confucius worked as a bookkeeper, cowherd, and a clerk. He also prided himself as constantly seeking education and knowledge at the age of 15. Confucius married Guan when he was 19 years old. A year later, a male child whom they named Kang Li was born. They had 2 more children, which were daughters. One daughter died as a child. His other daughter was later given to a close friend of his for a wife. At the age of 23, Confucius lost his mother. Confucius studied at the School for Commoners with Lao Dan and Daoist master, music with Chang Hong, and lute with Zhang. In his 30s, Confucius became a teacher. He was the first teacher in China whose aim was to make education available for everyone. The main goal of education for him was to provide the proper way of training, exemplary, that involved constant self-improvement and continuous socializing. Confucius founded the Ru school of Chinese thought. Confucius did not charge tuition and only requested a gift bundle of dried meat for most students. Students from richer families would pay a larger ritual donation. He did not turn anybody away and accepted noblemen, commoners, and criminals. His students came from all over China. Confucius believed in the middle road between learning and reflecting on what one has learned. His philosophy was, "He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger." Confucius taught his students morality, proper speech, government, and the 6 arts of ritual, which were music, archery, chariot riding, calligraphy, and computation. During this time, Confucius also wrote the Book of Odes, the Book of Documents, the Spring and Autumn Annals, which was the history of Lu, and the Book of Changes, which was on divination. About 501 BC, in his late 40s, Confucius was appointed the governor of a town, then served as the minister of public works, then became the minister of crime in Lu State. The Lu State was ruled by a ducal house, and there were 3 aristocratic families under the duke, whose heads held hereditary positions in the Lu bureaucracy. Confucius wanted to return the authority of the state to the duke and establish a centralized government. This was not possible without dismantling the walls of the cities belonging to the 3 aristocratic families. He achieved some success, but could not restore the legitimate rule of the duke. In the process, he had made powerful enemies within the state. He left his homeland in 497 or 498 BC and journeyed through northeast and central China. During this time, he was imprisoned for 5 days because of mistaken identity. Confucius calmly played his string instrument until the error was resolved. Confucius returned to Lu when he was 68. He spent his last years teaching the set of texts called the 5 Classics. Confucius was broken-hearted when he lost his son Zulu in battle and his favorite disciple the same year. Confucius left his body shortly after on November 21st, 479 BC. He was between the age of 71 and 73. Confucius had about 3,000 followers, and approximately 72 of his students were able to teach the 6 arts. He was buried in Khufu Konglin Cemetery. The original tomb was on the bank of the Sishui River and shaped like an axe. Just after his death, his hometown, Khufu, became a pilgrimage for ministers. The teachings of Confucius were organized in the Analects by his disciples. His philosophical school was kept open by his only grandson, Zisi. Confucius' philosophy was Ren, or loving others, while exercising self-discipline. He believed that Ren could be put into action using the golden rule: what you do not wish for yourself, do not do to others.